presidents, past district governors here present, PA, PDGs, PAGs here present. Good evening. I welcome you to today's fellowship, our first fellowship for the year 2025. I'm sure we all had awesome Christmas and New Year celebration. We've had a very long break. Our last fellowship was on the 18th of December, which is over a month ago. So I'm sure we're all rested and fully energized to start up the new year and to join in all of our activities. So I welcome you all to today's fellowship. Yes. We start at exactly 5 minutes past the hour of 6 p.m. Nigerian time. I am calling the meeting to order. Let us take our silent invocation in our respective religion, please. 2 minutes silent invocation in our respective religion. Thank you. Amen. We'll move forward by taking the four-way test. I'm calling our Rotary and Najoti to help us with the four-way test. Rotary and Naj, please, the four-way test. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Nagjoti, you can say the four-way test, please.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, the four-way test, please.
Yeah. 1 second. Yeah. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you so much.
Thank
And is
you
it
for
fair to
helping.
all concerned?
Thank you for helping us with the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. I'm calling our Rotarian PP VJ to help us with the object of Rotary. You're muted.
Good evening, everybody.
You're muted.
I hope I am audible now.
Yes, you are now.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, CP. Good evening, the PDGs, PAGs, and past parents and my friends on the call. The objects of Rotary. The object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular, to encourage and foster, first, the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. Second, high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations, and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. Third, the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. Fourth, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service. The objects of Rotary, my CP.
Thank you, PP, for the object of Rotary. Moving forward, we are going straight into the business of today. And today we have a distinguished Rotarian, a veteran in Rotary, well-taught, well-knowledgeable, vast in all she does. She's a teacher, a mother, a mentor, just name it. Her qualities are just too numerous to mention. We have in our midst, as our guest speaker, Rotarian Jumoke Ekeinde. And before we call on her to talk to us about using our skills to serve the community, permit me to read just a brief citation about Rotarian Jumoke. Let's know who Jumoke Ekeinde is. Rotarian Jumoke Ekeinde is a highly accomplished education administrator, and she's had over 15 years of expertise in the education sector, both in Nigeria and internationally. She is an award-winning Be a Gift to the World president of the Rotary Club of Abuja, the grandfather. She has distinguished herself as a visionary leader and as active member of the Rotary community. Rotarian Jumoke is a seasoned trainer and mentor. She has served in numerous impactful leadership roles, including being an assistant governor, assistant zonal coordinator, district polio chair for 3 consecutive years, during which Nigeria achieved vaccine-derived polio virus-free certification, earning Rotary International recognition. She served as District Public Image Chair, Assistant District Learning Facilitator, Pioneer President of Women in Rotary District 9125, Assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator, Zone 22, African Region 27. Rotarian Jumoke is also a member of the Rotary Healthy Community Challenges Program Committee. Currently, she serves as the District Rotary Fellowships and Action Group Chairperson 2024-2025, Assistant Rotary Communications and Media Coordinator, Zone 22, Africa, Region 27. In addition to her extensive leadership roles, Rotarian Jumoke is a proud faculty member of the Rotary Leadership Institute, RLI, and the National Secretary of the RLI Nigeria. Her exemplary dedication to service, leadership, and mentorship continues to inspire and create a meaningful impact within Rotary and the broader community. Rotarian Jumoke is happily married and blessed with amazing children. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rotarians, friends and guests of Rotary, let us make welcome our guest speaker, none other than Rotarian Olajumoke Ekeinde. PAG, the floor is all yours, ma'am.
Wow. That's I'm actually blushing as you're reading out that citation. Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible.
Oh, sure you are.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone from wherever you're joining in from. I'm excited to be here with you and to share on the topic, using our skills to serve the community. I'm sorry, unfortunately, I won't be able to turn on my camera during today's session because I have due to environmental factor. But I assure you that I'm fully present and looking forward to an engaging and impactful discussion. So thank you all for your understanding. My Magic President, Vien, thank you so much. PP, VJ, thank you also for always being supportive. It's my pleasure to be seeing all the amazing Rotarians from all over the world joining to learn and to enjoy today's session. We're all here to learn. E-Club of I always call your name Nigeria, Great Nigeria, but E-Club of Greater Nigeria, because this club is an amazing club doing great things, and we look forward to greater things that this club will continue to achieve. Thank you again, MP Vien. I want to quickly start with a quote that we all should know, that this month is set aside for vocational service. In Rotary, like we know, I'm sure a lot of us are Rotarians here, and we know that the month of January is dedicated to vocational service. So this topic is timely and apt. I want to start with a quote by Ralph Waldo that says, "To know even one life has breath easier because you have lived. That is to have succeeded." Meaning that because a life has been made easier because of you, it shows that you have succeeded as a human being and then as a volunteer. Our fellow Rotarians, it's going to be an interactive session, meaning we're going to be doing a lot of activities in the chat room. From my citation, you will know that I'm a teacher. So at every given opportunity, I bring that to bear. After all, we are in the month of vocational service, and we're going to talk about our skills and vocation. So I bring my vocation to bear. Please, in the chat room, I would like everyone to share one skill that you are most proud of and that you think can make a difference in your community. Can we all put that in the chat room? My MP, I need you to pay very close attention to all the skills that will be dropped in the chat room. Once again, share one skill that you're most proud of, that you could think that when you bring it to bear, it will make a difference in your community. Okay, I see people typing. All right. My MP, are you taking notes of what everyone is dropping in?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
yes.
Okay. All right. So while we take all of that up, I want us to know that the object of Rotary that was just read, particularly the second object of Rotary, is very key at a time like this in the Rotary calendar. We all listen to PP Vijay read out the object of Rotary, and I was glad that an emphasis was laid to the second object of Rotary. I would have wished that the president can project that once again, but I believe that we remember it and that we'll take that in, particularly all through this month, and see that we bring to bear our vocation and our skills at every opportunity. All right. So people will ask you, why does skill matter, right? So our skills enable problem solving. I know we know that, innovation and sustainability in service projects. So any skill we have or we bring to bear, especially as Rotarians, they help to bridge gap and address unique community needs. So that is why I said, can we share the skills that we know can address community needs in the chat room? So our skills are supposed to help in problem solving, help to sustain the service projects that we have. Our skills are supposed to help to bridge gaps and address the needs of our community. Remember, as clubs, we are asked that before we carry out projects, we carry out needs assessments. So this needs assessment also helps us to know that what skill sets will be needed after the needs assessment has been done for us to effectively carry out a sustainable project, right? So again, I'm going to be asking us in the chat room to also say how our skills can be used to address a particular problem. right? So in one sentence, can we all describe how our skills, can be used to address specific challenge, problem in our community? Right. Because a lot of time we have presenters who just come, share slides, and then most time it looks beautiful. We are carried away by the arrangements of the presentation. And after that, everybody just goes. Some will say, oh, can you share with me, forward to me? And then it ends there. But I would like to have a shift from that we begin to be actively involved in whatever presentation we're doing. So first, this will help you know what skill that you're passionate about that you can bring to bear in your community. Now, we're asking, how can this skill address a particular problem in your community, right? So another one will be, in one word, what comes to your mind when you think about community service, right? So please, fellow Rotarians, I want us to take our vocation beyond introducing ourselves at every meeting. They say, okay, please introduce yourself, and you say, I defend the classification of education administration because that is what I defend. So Jumoke, how has this your classification or vocation, how has it helped your community? How are you intending to use it to empower your community, to make a difference in your community? How do you think your vocation can address a challenge? So I'm going to be practical now. Like I said, I defend the classification of education administration, and I work in schools. Most times I find myself in classroom and I teach. We have a project, a community in my club that we carry out a lot of projects. So recently we carried out an basic and education project. As a teacher, my club president automatically knows that Rotary and Jumoke should belong to the committee of basic education and literacy for the purpose of the project that is coming up. Why? Because that is where her vocation is. That is where she has a passion. That is where she has skills. That is where she can bring her passion to bear. So I am in that committee. Now I'm able to understand the needs because of my background, because of my vocation, because of my classification. So in every aspect of that project, I am very visible, I am very involved, I interface for the club, I interface with the school, right? So we need to begin to volunteer from that angle. So please, fellow Rotarians, do not just sit back and say, oh, okay, I am a nurse, I am a lawyer, I have training in crafts, I am a painter. How have you used this to empower or to improve your community, right? So we need to begin to think in that line and not just to carry the title like a decoration and not truly use it to impact your community, impact your environment. Like they say, charity begins at home. Even impact your immediate environment from your club even. So that is why I asked that we write all of those things in the chat room. And now for other clubs who are here, like I can see that we have some other e-clubs who can now partner to do some projects, joint projects together. From this exercise in the chat room, the president or project director of the e-clubs who are present here will be able to say, oh, we have someone we can leverage on their vocation or on their skill to come and do, play this role or carry out this function in this project, right? So we need to take that beyond what we ordinarily we do during vocational month. Like they say, January is dedicated to vocational service month. We need to see that come to reality. We need to see that always happen. Now, we know that Rotarians have diverse skills, right? Like I've said earlier, type your skills and all of that. The purpose is to show the value of different skill sets in Rotary service. So when we have vocational service more, you hear people introducing themselves, lawyer, defense classification, legal services, engineering, and all of that. It tells us that Rotary is an organization that welcomes all kinds of vocation. And for that reason, our communities cannot suffer in any way that we need to interfere or intervene, right? Because we come to bridge the gap, like I said earlier. So where there's a gap to be filled, that classification that we have seen, that we have diverse classification, can easily be invited to come and fill that gap. That is when, like I said with my opening quotes, right, that you would have seen, you'll be happy that yes, someone's life is better because of what you have done. You feel happier even for making the person happy, right? So I would also like to ask, what is one action you can take in the next month to use your skills for your community service? What is that action? You can also write that in the chat room. It just shows that we are actively participating in this discussion, right? And this is to encourage us to commit to immediate action. Like I said, let us begin to shift from, oh, share slides with us, we'll just go through it and leave it there. There should be a call to action. And my call to action for us now is to say that in the next 1 month, even though January is dedicated to vocational service month, where you can use your vocation and your skills to impact your community, but it doesn't stop in January. It's an ongoing thing, right? We have different activities and projects for each month. So how can you use your own skills now to serve better in other activities or other projects that will be going on? So like I said, this is to encourage us to commit to an immediate action. Right. So please, fellow Rotarians, I would like to pause here, take questions, and then we interact further. So my Rotarian president, please take it from here.
Thank you, PAG Jumoke, for this wonderful and impactful lecture you've given to us. It was short, but straight to the point. So fellow Rotarians, the floor is open, the room is open for questions, contributions, if any, please. While the lecture was going on, some of my classmates joined the forum. I want to make welcome the MP of Abuja Ministers Hill, Rotarian Oros Adia. I also want to make welcome my very own AG, Rotarian Chami. Thank you for joining us. And I want to specially welcome my secretary, Rotarian Christy Ayo. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, my president, sorry, I can see a lot of reaction in the chat room, and I love them. We have a lot of skill. Like I said, Rotary is a platform that helps to appreciate the diverse of skills of vocation that we have. Someone said making tiger nut drink and zobo. Yes, that's a skill. So now the question is, how will you use this to impact your community? What can you do with this? Someone said networking. I see AG Charity, you're welcome. Good to have you here. She said publicity and media. So we begin to think of how to network, leverage on all of these vocations and skills that are. Someone said bond fellowship, accounting, book, record keeping. Wow, nice. Someone is a veteran of Indian Air Force. So how can this person help with peace, during the peace, the month that is dedicated to conflict resolution and peace, right? Someone said my skill can address hunger and poverty alleviation problem. Excellent, which is what a lot of communities are going through right now. So we have skills that can solve a lot of problems, peace building, right? Helping to connect people, be more compassionate. Okay, yeah. So you can see that we have a lot of skill. So now the question is, are we impacting our community with all of these skills that we have said? How has someone's life been better, with this skill set, right? So please let us not just end with the just writing, being excited that we have a vacation. We introduce ourselves at meetings to say, I defend this classification, and then it stops there. We have diverse skills to impact our community, to make the world a better place, to make life easier for people, and we are all, we are better for it at the end of the day. Like they say, it's a circle. So you're happy, I'm happy, my community is safe, I'm safe, my community is economically strong, I benefit from it too. So it's a win-win. So let's take this further and begin to we are volunteers after all. So volunteer where there's need, there are needs, volunteer where there's a gap to meet such needs, and then you would have been seen as a true volunteer using your vocation, using your skill to impact your community. So I would pause once again for question. If you want to drop it in the chat room, that's fine. If the president wants you to unmute and ask, that is fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, okay. Thank you, PAG Olajumoke. Fellow Rotarians, the floor is open for your questions, for your contributions as well. Would appreciate.
Thanks, PAG.
Let's learn from you.
Thanks, PAG, for a wonderful insight into how we can make use of our skill sets and our vocations in helping the community. I'm sure it will definitely help everybody have a different thought process about what we do. Normally, we just come in, although we are told that we are from different vocations and we are leaders in different vocations, seldom do we use our vocation to help the community and try to use those skill sets. I think this talk of yours would act as a be a polishing act, and it would brush aside the dust over it, and everybody would start using their skill sets for the benefit of the community. Thank you.
Thank you, PPVJ. More contributions, please. So just like our guest speaker spoke to earlier, she said, what can we use, what are our skills, and how can our skills benefit each other? I'm going to make reference to PPVJ. His skill is making people connect around the world. With his skills, through his skills rather, I have been able to connect with 90% of the members present at this meeting, and even beyond this meeting. There are some members who are not even here present, but I got connected to them through PPVJ. So this is one skill. And then I built good relationship and friendship with those people, all courtesy of PPVJ. Now he has helped me to meet others, and I attend so many virtual meetings online because he's always inviting and ensuring that you're a part of the meeting, and not just being present in the meeting, but be fully present and active in each of the meetings you attend, all thanks to him. So again, like for my own vocation as a nurse, we have to try to be very compassionate with one another, especially with our patients. And as a mental health nurse, you show empathy on your patients. So if I wasn't so empathetic on my patients, after today's lecture, I would endeavor to put in more effort to be more empathetic and more compassionate with my patients. Thank you. Thank you. So the room is still open for questions and contributions, please. If none, then we'll move.
Okay, I was just waiting for more questions before I now round up, right?
Yeah.
Right. So just like the president Vien said, collaboration, networking, and all of that, that's very also important. Even we as members of Rotary, apart from our community, like they say, charity begins at home. Going through the chat room, I've seen people I can connect with and even, carry out projects with, business with, and all of that, right? So we need to begin to think of how we can collaborate also. collaborate personally as Rotarians, collaborate as clubs, collaborate as districts to carry out projects leveraging on your skills, right? So, and then we should also remember to celebrate all our small wins in our clubs, whatever project we have carried out, no matter how small they are. We have impacted lives, we've touched lives. We should celebrate that and make our volunteers happy and appreciated, right? Let's also remember that when we use our skills to serve, that what we are actually doing is we are transforming communities. When you transform your communities, you are transforming yourselves. Let us know that. Like I said, there's this happiness and satisfaction you derive from doing good. You just feel good. So the person feels happy, you feel happier. I feel happier when someone is happy. That's the truth. So that's the kind of feeling, that satisfactory feeling, right? So when we use our skills to serve, we transform communities. We're happy you're driving past. You've seen that, oh, I make zobo, I make kunu. Look at the woman I've just taught, or the children, or the student, or the youth I taught how to make it. See how they have transformed it into a bigger business. See how the economy is doing well in that household, starting with the household before you talk about community, right? So you see all of that. And you've solved the problem of hunger. They couldn't eat a meal. Now they're able to empower themselves with this skill that I've helped to teach them, and they are doing better. So I'm going to leave us with that when we use our skills to serve, we transform communities. And in doing so, we also transform ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you, PAG Olajumoke, for the awesome lecture. Hello, Rotarians. I want to welcome CP Adonis Tellers. Bienvenue parmi nous.
Thank you. Good afternoon, good evening, CP Vivienne, PPVJ, my respects.
Thank you for joining us.
We
I
are
also
also
want to welcome my very own CP Olufumi. Thank you for joining us. Happy New Year for me.
My pleasure. Wish you same. Good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon from everywhere we are in the all over.
we are also joined by PP Andrew from District 1130.
Yes, I also want to welcome Mr. Andrew, Rotarian Andrew. Thank you for joining us. I'm so happy when I saw you now. I also want to welcome my very own Duchess, all the way from the Garden City. Duchess Lucy, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Nice being here. Sorry I'm late. Sorry, please.
Better late than never.
Good evening, PDJ.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's meeting. Okay, so we want to appreciate the guest speaker. I'm calling on Rotarian Orogene Adia. So please help appreciate our guest speaker.
My MP. Good evening, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. You caught me.
I did.
But when I see our one and only PAG Olajumoke, I don't know if I have the shoes to actually do this, but since you are standing with me, I think we can do this together. First of all, good evening, Ma. Apologies, I joined the meeting a little bit late. Again, this classification, like we were just talking about, that actually helped me back, but I'm happy to have joined. At least to what I've heard, you really talked about, us showcasing, what we do in Rotary, and I think that is very fundamental. So on behalf of the club, I use this opportunity to thank you, appreciate you graciously for the presentation that you've made this evening, and to every one of us who have joined across the globe. I know it's very insightful that you, even within your time, to actually make this meeting very, very deep in understanding what we do based on our classification. Very importantly, in recognition of your impactful and valuable presentation as the unique speaker on the topic of using our skills to serve the community, this club fellowship, I say thank you so much for this and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, PAG Olajumoke. This is really appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you, my MP. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm on the steering, so I'm trying to make this happen. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you, MP. Thank you, PAG, once again for availing us your time and giving us this very beautiful presentation. We appreciate it, ma'am. Moving on, we want to call on each and every one of us to unmute our mics and cameras, please, and introduce ourselves. We've learned something today as to how to, when introducing yourself, you defend your you talk about defending your classification as well. So please unmute your mic and introduce yourself, please. Thank you.
Yes, I'm Rotarian Anil Ghai. I'm MPHF. I'm from Rotary Club of Kashipur Corbett, Charter President, and I'm also District Chair for Peace for 333110, honorary member of Rotary E Club of Winter Havens, and I belong to India. Presently, I'm in Delhi. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Anil. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, Adonis.
Yeah, Adonis Teladelis, classification, leadership, and governance consultant, a translator, interpreter, French, English, and Spanish, and charter president and past president of the Rotary Club of Cotonou, Locomotive Gary in the Republic of Benin, District 103, and former district youth service chair in charge of Rotract and Intract, currently learning and public image committee chair in my club, and also a member of the leadership team of the French Francophone Rotary Leadership Institute. Thanks.
Yes, Wangari, you can unmute and introduce yourself.
Good evening, Rotarians. My name is Rotarian Wangari from District 9212, soon to be District 516, Nairobi, Kenya. We've split our district, but effectively of next year, 2026, July, when we're starting the new Rotary year. My classification is peace and conflict management, but I am a solar technician. That's what I do for a living, and I'm glad to be here.
Andrew, you can introduce yourself. Andrew, kindly unmute and introduce.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I am Assistant Governor, D113 in London, and I've just taken up the role of District Learning Facilitator for London. My classification is retail management, and it's good to see you all once again. Thanks for inviting me.
Welcome. Charlene, you can introduce yourself. Charlene, if you are listening.
I don't know if it's Charlene or Chami.
You can also do it, Chami, no problem. Chami, you are most welcome.
Okay. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I am Rotarian Charity Brian Dapa of the Rotary E Club of Golden, Nigeria. My classification is secretarial administration, and I'm into publicity and media as well. I manage social media handles. I bring you good tidings from my family. Thank you.
Thank you, my AG.
Ravi, you can unmute and introduce yourself.
This challenge, okay. Ravi.
Good evening to everyone.
Good evening, Ravi.
I was a Rotarian in Sri Lanka, this capital of Colombo. Now recently moved to Ghana. I was working in a company in Ghana as a general management. So this is what about me. I'm very happy to see all your faces in the Africa. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity.
Yes,
Thank
Stephanie
you, Ravi.
told,
I'm so happy you joined.
Ravi, Stephanie told me about
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. OZM, you can unmute and introduce yourself. OZM, if you are listening, kindly unmute and introduce.
OZM Esiri.
Okay.
Can you please?
Christy Yo.
Veteran Christy. Are they still here? Sandra. Please unmute yourself.
We are joined by CP Kate. CP Kate, you can unmute and introduce yourself. He's gone, it seems.
I think Sandra is speaking.
Yeah, Sandra, but we can't hear her. Sandra, you can speak.
Charlie.
Hello, good evening.
Okay, Esiri.
Good evening, my president.
Good evening.
CPs in the house. A very good evening to my PAG Jumoke, the action lady. And also good evening to fellow Rotarians and guests. My name is Chartered President OZM Esiri. I defend the classification of a peace practitioner. Thank you.
Thank you. What club are you from?
Saple GRA.
Good to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Michael Effiong. Michael Effiong, please introduce yourself.
Hi, boom, I rise. Return, Michael. We can't hear you.
Charlene, you can introduce yourself.
Sorry, what is it we've been at? Sorry, I was on another call.
Yeah, you can please introduce yourself, Charlie.
Oh, okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. Past presidents, past PDGs, past AGs, fellow Rotarians, and guests. My name is Charlene Kearney from the Rotary Club of New Providence in Nassau, the Bahamas. Pleasure to be here with you all.
Thank you for joining us. My Duchess, can you please introduce yourself?
Lucy, please.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Good evening, my president, PDGs, NOMIS, PPs, PAGs, fellow Rotarians, and guests, if there's any. My name is Rotarian Lucy Mazu. I'm of the Rotary Club of Port Harcourt Central. And I am my club assistant secretary. I'm also my club's polio chair, and also my club's Rotary Action Group Against Malaria ambassador. My classification is broadcast regulation. I bring you good tidings from my club. Good evening. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you for joining us, Duchess.
Rotractor Godwin, you can introduce yourself.
All right. Good evening, my president, the PAG, the AG in the house, League of Charter President, Rotarians, guests. My name is Rotalto Godwin Sylvester Ufere. Then I am from Rotary E-Club of One Nigeria, District 9126. I am my club secretary. Then my classification, I'm a graphic designer and a printing consultant. Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Godwin.
President Ajay, you can introduce yourself. Ajay is the president from my district. Not.
Jane Deria.
Now we can move to our star, Nagjoti. She can introduce herself.
Nagjoti.
Nagjoti, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. Myself, Rotarian Nagjoti. Thank you, PPVJ and President. I am Masters in Environment Engineer, and my club is Rotary District 7710 Carriage Club, USA, and honorary membership with UK Club. And recently, I have got one more honorary membership. PPVJ is only the reason for that. Bangalore, the Bangalore Agara Club, District 3191, and one of my now Indian club is also with me. So it is very easier for me to go ahead with the projects also. And I am one of the SRAC co-chair, very much interested in environmental projects, and whatever the projects you people do, definitely trying to collaborate with. And I'm associated day to day working with the environmental consultancy, and last year approved with the Government of India Ministry for industries like sugar and distillery. Thank you so much.
Thank you. PAG Jane, kindly unmute and introduce yourself.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jane from the Rotary Club of Victoria Island East. Here in just open my camera here in Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm also an action plan champion in this current Rotary year, and also a cadre for the Rotary Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to have you join us today.
Deepak, yes. Deepak is there or he's gone? I think we have just been joined by AG Vinod Patni. He can introduce himself, please.
May please introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Assistant Governor Vinod Patni in Rotary Club Srirampur, District 3132.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Okay, I think that's all. So let's share the Rotary Grace and call it a day for today's meeting. At the count of 9, 1, 2, 7, let's all unmute and share the Rotary grace. 9, 1, 2, 7. Oh Lord,
Lord, the giver
the giver of all good,
we thank
we thank
you
you
for our
for our daily food.
may
May
Rotary
Rotary
for good
friends
and
and
Rotary
Rotary
Thank you for
help us
the
to serve
all our
food
days.
made
all our
All our
days
friends
for good
of
food,
good
good
Food,
fellowship,
fellowship,
and the
and the
serve,
opportunity to
to give
serve.
thanks.
we
help
give
Amen.
us to serve thee all our days. Opportunity to serve, we give you thanks.
amen.
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 Thank you so very much, my distinguished fellow Rotarians, past presidents here, past assistant governors, charter presidents, Rotaractors, and all. Thank you for honoring the invitation to share the first fellowship of the year with a very great, unique club. Why unique for a particular purpose, you know? So please do feel free to join us in 2 weeks' time for our next fellowship, same time, same station.